Let's go, guys. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. It is Sunday morning. It is 10:12 a.m. here in Florida. And this is going to be a short stream, man. A short jolt, little hangout, sipping on my coffee. My wife and my daughter, they went to the park. And I'm going to be spending all day, after this stream, I'm going to be spending all day studying. That is my life right now. I study for like 3 hours a day, knocking out this shit. It's been fun so far. If anybody has any questions, and I can answer them, feel free. But welcome one and all. What's on your mind? Let's shoot the shit. I liked Carter's question. He asked everybody what their favorite breakfast meal is. I dig it. Good question, Carter. What's up, Michael? Everybody, let me know what your favorite breakfast meal is in the chat. Let's start this live stream off with a little bit of food talk, right? But yeah, Darth Snow, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of the stream, man. I greatly appreciate that. Darth Snow simply says first donation. Well, cheers, man. Thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of this short 30-minute stream. I greatly appreciate that, dude. So, speaking of breakfast food, generally, for the most part, I'm not a breakfast eater. I usually have like a protein shake or something like that. That's usually about it for breakfast. But on the weekends, man, or if I'm going out to splurge, I think my my all-time favorite breakfast meal is biscuits and gravy. You get some nice, kind of crunchy on the outside, fluffy on the inside biscuits, and then you get some chunky sausage gravy lathered all on top of it. Goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious. I love it, man. This morning I actually made all of us some breakfast sandwiches. Got some sourdough bread, a bunch of bacon, some scrambled eggs to go on top, sliced American cheese, and I love hot sauce all over it. So that's kind of an easy go-to that I make for us on the weekends. But yeah, man. So delicious stuff. Delicious stuff. Consists of 3 over medium eggs, toast, and home fried potatoes. Nice, Joey. Yeah, I love. Breakfast is my favorite meal, I would say, but it's very rare that I eat a big breakfast. Usually maybe once on the weekends, if that. But I really enjoy making breakfast too. It's like, and I like to cook sometimes, and breakfast is a fun one to make. I usually, I'll take the cheese grater, and I'll grate up, I'll get a bunch of potatoes and just grate them up to make hash browns, homemade hash browns, soak the potato, what would you call that? What would you call that? Like when you grate a potato or cheese, what are the little pieces called? The grated is? I don't know. You soak those in water, get the starches out and whatnot, but yeah. Anyway, it's good stuff. Cereal with fruits and a big glass of mango juice. Oh, mango juice. That sounds yummy, man. My go-to cereal used to be Honey Nut Clusters. I don't know if they make that anymore. Honey Nut Clusters. Is it still around? Dude, Clusters were awesome. Cereal is not produced anymore due to lack of sales, according to General Mills in 2012. So, that's probably the last time I've had cereal, 2012. But yeah. Darth Snow, thank you so much once again for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Darth says, do you have a higher chance of getting in the fire thing because you have been in the Navy? Also, my brother-in-law did the same thing. No, so to get into the fire academy, no, I don't think it made any difference whether or not I'd served or not. I'm the oldest guy in my class, and I'm one of 2 people that have served. There's like 35 kids in the class or something like that, I believe. So, no, no, it has not made a difference. Where it does make a difference, though, man, is attitude and work ethic, I believe, and just the overall vibe. I get the vibe of the instructors. A lot of these instructors that I have been on the job for like 15, 20. Some of them are retired, but for a few years, and they were on the job for 30 years. So, as a guy who was in the Navy, I speak their language, right? There is a very similar vibe between, you know, what I experienced in the military and what I'm experiencing currently in the Fire Academy. So in that sense, I feel like I do have a leg up on a lot of kids that are in there, and which I'm not looking for any kind of competition. It's just, it makes it, I get it. You know what I mean? I vibe with it. I get the overall vibe of the what I've experienced so far. But no, I don't think it didn't have any perks or anything. It might when I go to apply at a firehouse, it might come into play on a resume, you know, that I was in the Navy, but I don't think that really would matter too much. I really don't know. Man. But being in, though, there's no question in my mind, Darth, that it had mentally prepared me for everything, you know, for the next year that I'm going to be going through before I get in. But yeah, man. And not only that, the GI Bill kicks ass. You know, the GI Bill, if it wasn't for the GI Bill, I don't think I'd be able to do this because, you know, basically I take care of my daughter during the day. She goes to preschool a couple times a week. And I don't have nearly as much time to do anything on the channel. I haven't uploaded like a video in a month, I feel like. I've done maybe 3 streams in a month too. So like, I don't really have time to devote to any kind of projects or even the channel anymore. So the GI Bill literally pays a housing allowance. It pays for my mortgage while I'm in school, which is nuts. You know, I would not be able to do what I'm doing right now without the GI Bill. So there's a lot of perks, man, to Navy, you know, to a civilian job like a firefighter, that maybe you wouldn't think of automatically, you know. But anyway, man, cheers. I appreciate that. And Nathan Pelka, good to see you, Nathan. Hope you're doing well. Nathan says, I wish Battlefront 2 spent less time in Clone Wars content, less heroes, and instead more maps and game modes, sequel OT, and content from the new shows. You know, I think I would have agreed with you more before. It's weird, Nathan. Like, before all the Clone Wars stuff got introduced to the game, and before Battlefront 2 really got beefier with more eras and you know, appealing to a different side of the fandom than myself, really, I would have poo-pooed the idea of including a lot of Clone Wars stuff, right? But I loved those maps. I loved what they did with the Clone Wars era, the prequel era stuff in that game. But I'm with you. I'm not like a fan of heroes or villains in Battlefront games. For me personally, I wouldn't even care if they're in the damn game. I'd rather just be like a grunt, you know, in the game. That's the way I like to play, you know. And what do I always say? I always say maps and modes. You know, that's all I've ever wanted in that game. Yeah, add new heroes, cool. It's really not for me. Maps and modes is where it's, you know, what it's all about for me. But yeah, I think Battlefront 2 did a pretty damn good job appealing across the board to every, you know, Star Wars fan's favorite era. And let's just say we have 3 eras, right? That's 3 different generations of Star Wars fans that you have to appeal to. That's a very broad, I guess, cross-section of gamers that you need to appeal to, you know? And it's hard to. But I feel like they did a pretty decent job of kind of, you know, diversifying Battlefront 2 in order to kind of appeal to across the board to, you know, all different Star Wars fans. Now, I would love for some Mandalorian stuff. I wasn't there some kind of Battlefront 2 news recently? I literally have not. I haven't looked at any Star Wars news or anything. If it doesn't come across my Twitter account the 2 or 3 times that I check it in a day, I don't know anything about it. But I feel like I recently saw somebody say something about Battlefront 2 and some news from it, but I don't know. I'm sure somebody will let me know. But anyway, I appreciate that, Nelson. Nelson? My family has a dog. I guess it would be my cousin has a dog named Nelson, and they were over last night. So I combined Nelson with Nathan, and I said Nelson. I can't even remember what I said. Nelson. Nelson. All right, enough of that. Anyway. And Arco, thank you so much for the channel support, man. Good to see you. Arco says, hey, happy Sunday, Greedo. Just finished Horizon Zero Dawn and Fallen Order back-to-back over last month and starting up Hades. What's up with you? Games, books, fireman training. Also, I picked Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition during the Epic Games giveaway. Only reason I haven't hopped in is because of the install size, 90 gigs. Whee! If you ever get a chance to hop back in, shout it out. Yeah, I've been wanting to play. I've been wanting to play lately. I actually played Breath of the Wild for the first time since January 3rd. I looked it up. Since January 3rd, I played this morning for 30 minutes. That's all I could get before my daughter woke up. But yeah, that's really all I'm playing right now, man. I've been wanting to play a bunch of games, but I haven't, like, whenever I do have any kind of downtime or whatnot, I'm either going for a run or working out or studying. That's really my life right now, you know. Other than that, I would love to play more Zelda. Just can't swing it. I think Horizon Zero Dawn is the one with the... Is there like a girl on the cover with kind of like a side-shaved head? Zero Dawn and like face paint? Nope, this is not what I was thinking of. What am I thinking of? This is not what I was thinking of. Oh yeah, yeah, I think this is the game that I'm thinking of. Unless this is a game that has a very, very similar main character. Yeah, I forgot about this game. I remember when it was announced and coming out and stuff like that. But yeah, I wanna play some Battlefront 2 again. I do miss it because it was such a fun stream or game to stream, man. It was like, you know, with Fallen Order, I really enjoyed streaming it, but I played most of my Fallen Order time not on a stream just because I wanted to like really just engross myself in the story, you know. But Battlefront 2 is such an easy streaming game because you're just running and gunning and it's second nature to me, you know. But yeah, it's fun. I need to hop back in for sure. When I do, I'll let everybody know. Maybe we can party up. But yeah, so yes, games, books, fireman training, a lot of fireman training. It's basically have an exam every single class, and I go 3 days a week, basically all day. And it's when the labs are fun, you know, learning how to learning how from like learning how to take a blood pressure manually to you know, infant CPR to learn how to put somebody on a longboard, like a big stretcher, or loading somebody into the back of an ambulance. You know, we've done a lot of fun stuff so far. And books, just my emergency study guides. That's really about it. I did start listening to the Lost Stars audiobook. But again, as soon as class started, I stopped, and I've been actually listening to my school book. Actually has an audiobook version, so I got that, and I've been listening to that on my commute to and from class. So yeah, man, that's basically my life right now is school and knocking that out. And it's really interesting. Like, there's a guy who sits next to me. He was in the Army, and you know, he's a year younger than me, and everybody else is like 19, 20 years old. We're like 33 and 34, so we just instantly connected, you know. And we were both like, yeah, man, this is the first time in our entire lives we've ever like buckled down and taken shit serious in school. We're both kind of like, this is it, you know, all in for this shit. So we've been kind of helping each other out, and yeah, it's been great. But anyway, I appreciate that, Arco. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, I wish I had more time to do these streams, but yeah, 30 minutes is about all I can swing nowadays, like once a week, right? But anyway, cheers, man. And Jamie, who is first? Bubba Fett and Jamie Lee Claus, good to see you. Hope you are doing well to the both of you. Jamie, I did see your message on Instagram. I just have not opened it up yet. I have a bad habit. Sorry, guys. I got this cough this morning. I have a bad habit of never looking at my DMs. And then before I know it, I have like 6 DMs. And I haven't responded in a month. And I feel bad. Drink it black, Ren. But Bubba Fett, thank you so much, man. Thoughts on Pablo Hidalgo and Star Wars theory drama? I don't get into the dumb shit. I will say that I don't like, and this is nothing against that whole situation. I don't like when people blow things out of proportion. When things get misconstrued. When you know, some people just don't understand other people's types of humor, right? Especially in the context of text on Twitter. Some people don't understand context or you know, sarcasm. I get it. But yeah, man, like, it's just all so stupid to me. You know, it's all so stupid. Like, people, the internet, YouTubers, people who write blogs and articles, especially when money's involved. I mean, we see it with all sorts of shit, right? People making something out of nothing. People making something out of nothing. I mean, fucking people have made hundreds of videos about Brie Larson. What? Cool, dude. Like, can you think of a lamer fucking way to spend your time in your one chance on planet Earth than worrying about what an actress says about something that doesn't, like, who gives a fuck? Can you I would be so fucking embarrassed as a man. Weird. So yeah, man, Bubba Fett, it's just people making something out of nothing, and that's kind of the nature of the beast nowadays with, you know, internet journalism or being a fan of something, you know. Oftentimes the people who complain about people being too overly sensitive are some of the most sensitive sons of bitches you will ever encounter. And that's often the case, right? But, yeah, anyway, cheers, man. And Jamie Lee Claus, good to see ya. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Jamie says, hey, Greedo, just finished reading Thrawn. Ties really neatly into Rebels. Nice. Gonna start Light of the Jedi today. Hope you're doing well. Happy to see you. Nice. I read the first Thrawn book. Is that the one you're talking about? I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat. The very first one. As in the new canon. I think it's just called Thrawn, isn't it? Right? Thrawn novel. I think it is. Oh, that's a pretty cool shirt. Dude, Hot Topic has some of the best Star Wars shirts. And they're like, you know, so many times Star Wars shirts are so gaudy. You know, they're so gaudy. But Hot Topic, yeah, I would never think to look at Hot Topic. I haven't shopped at Hot Topic since I was like 18 years old. But they have some really cool random ass Star Wars shirts. I got a Phantom Menace Star Wars shirt there. Let me look this up. One sec, Jamie. I'm sorry. I got a Phantom Menace shirt. Let's see. Episode 1 shirt, Hot Topic. I haven't worn it in a long time. Oh yeah, I got this shirt from Hot Topic. Whoa, that is a huge link. What the hell? I guess it'll work. Oh, no, that's... What? Why is that... Why is this link so enormous? Okay, here it is. Boom. There's the Hot Topic shirt that I was talking about. I bought that shirt. I've had it for a few months. But yeah, Hot Topic has some like really great random ass Star Wars shirts that you don't see anywhere else. I mean, but yeah. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Jamie. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first Thrawn book. I have not read the other ones. Other than Heir to the Empire when I was like, I don't know, in middle school at a book fair. But Thrawn was pretty great. I like kind of, you know, a little bit of an origin story there. So Thrawn as a character has always been a little, never been, like one of my favorite characters. You know, people always talk about the like Mary Sue and all that kind of shit and being too overpowered and all sorts of all blah blah blah, right? How do they get their power? Thrawn to me is kind of a great example of what everybody bitches and moans about with other characters. Like Thrawn is just like inherently awesome at everything, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that, but at a certain point it gets kind of tiring, especially when it's in book form. Like he reminds me of the detective from Midnight on the Orient Express, where basically he walks into a room and instantly knows exactly how the crime happened, you know? Like he can just instantly tell everything the second his foot steps into the room, you know what I mean? He kind of reminds me of that. Like Thrawn is just the perfect tactician, and never has any kind of faults. You know, it's really interesting to me how people bitch and moan about other characters, but Thrawn to me is like the best example of what they're bitching about. You know what I mean? But it's a great book. I really enjoyed it, Jamie, and I highly recommend it. I've been wanting to read. I talked to a guy recently who I know through my wife's work, who he recommended. That is the next one, the one with Anakin and Thrawn, I think. Maybe it's not, but he said that one's really good. The one where Anakin and Thrawn are together. What's it called? Ascendancy? No. And I can't remember which one's what it's called, but yeah. Eventually, I'll read Light of the Jedi. And by eventually, I mean probably in a few years. Maybe 5 years. We'll see, man. I've had Master and Apprentice. I've had Alphabet Squadron, and I've read like 30 pages of both. I have Lost Stars on audiobook, and I've listened to maybe 2 hours of it. Like I just have not been able to find the time to sit down and read a bunch, you know. But anyway. Oh, it's called Allies, Thrawn Alliances is where Thrawn and Vader team. Okay. Alliances. Okay. He said that one was really good, so yeah. Jared Jams and Matt Guy, thank you so much for the super chats as well. Jared says, "What is your experience with Dungeons and Dragons?" Really not much, man. I have only played it maybe 2 times in my entire life, and I say play very loosely because me and my buddies bought it like around the time the first Lord of the Rings movie came out, and we sat down and none of us had ever really played it, and we just tried to figure it out for a couple hours, and that's basically the extent of my Dungeons and Dragons. You know, I played the D&D online game, the MMO, you know, and that's nothing like, you know, D&D, but no, I've never really been able to get into a lot of tabletop stuff. But I think if my friends were more into it, if I knew people who were into it, I think I would be more into it. The problem is I've just never been really that exposed to it, you know. The most tabletop gaming that I did was probably in like elementary school leading into middle school a little bit. The guy who lived across the street from me, he was a friend of mine, and his dad was really, really into like fantasy board games and you know, Ultima on the PC and you know, that kind of stuff. Like early mid 90s, you know, around then. And we played a game called Talisman. It was a board game. It's way more linear than D&D. I mean, Talisman is like a very linear board game, but I loved the art style. You can look it up. It's called Talisman. Great. But that's really the extent of my like tabletop gaming, other than like Monopoly and shit like that, you know. But yeah, never really done any D&D stuff. I'd love to at some point one day, but yeah, I really don't know anybody that plays it, to tell you the truth. I take that back. I know one guy who's in the 501st. He lives downtown now, or still lives downtown. Haven't hung out with him in a couple of years. But anyway, I appreciate that, Jared. Matt Guy and George Heilman, thank you guys so much. Matt says, who's the greatest Star Wars character and why is it Porkins? Well, you just answered your own question, man. Who is the greatest Star Wars character and why is it Porkins? I don't know. Who is the greatest Star Wars character, guys? Matt, who is? I'm assuming maybe you're being facetious, or maybe your favorite Star Wars character is Porkins. Now, for me, man, I am a big Han Solo fan. I like that pirate with the heart of gold. I like that cocky, smart-ass attitude. You know, when I think of Star Wars, I've always said this, but like when I think of Star Wars, I don't really necessarily think of Jedi and Sith and lightsabers and stuff. Like, the Star Wars that I love through and through, like, right, you know, when I think of Star Wars, it's usually smugglers and bounty hunters and Han Solo, you know what I mean? So yeah, for me, it's good old Han, but, or Porkins, yeah, why not? Porkins. But I appreciate that, Matt. And George Heilman, Jamie Lee Claus, thank you guys for coming in with the final super chats and channel supports of the stream before I jet. Sorry, guys. There we go. Closing something out. Okay, cool. George says, I know you live in Florida, but on really sweltering days, do you ever think something like Hoth is sounding pretty good right now? George, I love it here. I love summer. Yeah, it sometimes it sucks. Like, you know, if it's July or August and you walk out of your front door and into your car, and in that 20 feet, your ass feels like a swamp because it's so hot and you're sweating like crazy, right? Sucks. It does suck. But I honestly I wouldn't want to live anywhere else just because I love the summer. My favorite thing in the world is swimming in the pool. And I could not trade, you know, maybe better or more definitive seasons elsewhere, maybe a little north. I would not trade that for the sweltering heat and the ability to just swim in your pool for, like, I don't know, 10 months out of the year. I could not give it up, man. But yeah, I see pictures of people up in the snow and whatnot. Looks fun, but it'd probably be different if I grew up in that. I was born in Ohio, and then I lived in Atlanta for like 10 years, I think, something like that. Maybe a little less, 8 years maybe. And so Ohio, obviously cold as shit in the winter. Georgia, it really depended. We had a blizzard of 92, I think it was, or 93. And then Florida, obviously. I've been living in Florida for, I'm 34 now, maybe 21 years, something like that, 22 years. I don't think dude, I grew up going to the beach, man, with me and my buddies, you know, driving in my buddy's Volvo with the sunroof down, driving in my Ford Explorer, my 96 Ford Explorer, to the beach, surfing, and man, I can't imagine living away from that, you know. Love it. But yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, Callum, I grew up in like, or I was born in like, like Columbus, but like Canal Winchester area. No, but anyway. And Jamie Lee Claus, thank you so much for the channel support. Double Guns here. Jamie says, sent you a song on Insta. Take your time, though. Nice, man. I'll check it out for sure. And Jamie also says, best character is Babu Frick. No discussion. Babu Frick. Yeah, a lot of people like Babu Frick. He was... Yeah, it's a cool character. He served the purpose. He's a funny character, right? I barely remember him, though, in the movie. Which I should remember him more for sure, but yeah, I'll check out the song. In terms of like small whatever characters that are like fan favorites, it's really interesting what gets picked up by certain people, you know? Like Alex from Star Wars Explained is like, he has a shrine devoted to Biggs, right? Yeah, it's Biggs, right? He loves Biggs, I think. Yeah, it's Biggs. I don't know who my favorite like side character would be. You might think Greedo, but I don't even know if that's true. I just love the confrontation between Han and Greedo, you know? I love the cantina, but I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate that, Jamie, and I will check that song out. And Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the channel support. Do you think JB's 10,000 JB? Oh, Joe Biden's $10,000 student relief is real? Yeah, I would assume something like that. Let me sit up a little more. Adjust my microphone. I would assume something like that is in the works. Look, we've created an entire generation that is completely bogged down with student debt, you know. It fucking sucks. Look, I took out a huge loan when I was oh crap, one sec, let me turn my phone off of okay, there we go, sorry. I took out a huge student loan when I was 18. I was an idiot. I was an and I'm assuming this is the case for a lot of people, you know. I was 18 years old. I took out a huge student loan. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just wanted to go to school. That's, you know, I was 18. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Took out a giant, like, $70,000 student loan. I didn't know anything about interest rates. I didn't know anything about paying something back. I was a fucking 18-year-old idiot, you know? And there's an industry. There is an industry of giant student loan debts bogging down an entire generation of human beings in this country. And something needs to change. Something absolutely needs to change. It's an industry that takes advantage, and it's pretty goddamn gross. It's the one thing that you can't claim bankruptcy on. You can claim bankruptcy on your fucking casinos, but you can't claim them on your student loan Yeah, so I hope something like that's in the work, Oscar. It needs to happen. There needs to be a huge shift in the way we do education in this country. There needs to be a huge... I think we need to do a better job of educating our young people about loans and about taking student loans out and whatnot. I encourage people... look, man, like, it's not going to be for everybody, but I think one of the best things that a young person can do who 100% does not know what they want to do with the rest of their lives, and instead of taking out like $100,000 student loans over a couple years and then coming out on the other side not knowing what the hell you want to do, and you're still a little lost, and now you're bogged down with basically a mortgage payment for your education. I often recommend, going into the military for 4 years, and then they let somebody else pay for your college, right? Let them pay for your college. It's not a bad deal. I know. There's a lot different in other countries. Maybe we need to adopt some of their practices. But it's really interesting. I've looked at this. I actually had a conversation a few years ago about this. Companies, there's a lot of corporations out there that will pay for their employees, to go to seminars or even get degrees. Corporations will pay for some of their employees to go to college or, get a workforce certificate or more education in a certain area. And that's great. They want to invest in their employees. They want their employees to, be better educated and whatnot. And sometimes I look at the whole of the United States of America, and if we kind of did what those corporations do and wanting to better our citizens, more education, better workforce certificates, better education, about all sorts of things. Shouldn't we kind of look at our citizens the same way some of those good companies look at their employees and investing in their employees? Shouldn't we want to invest in our citizens? I don't know, man. It grosses me out. Like the idea of my 2.5-year-old daughter, in 16 years taking out giant student loans, because let's face it, most people aren't able to save a fuckload of money. That's why the student loan industry exists, because people, most people aren't able to save up $100,000 for their kid to go to college. Most people. So something needs to change. I just rambled on. I don't even know what the hell I just said. What's up, Vince? Oscar Rodriguez and Jamie Lee Claus, thank you for coming in with the final super chats and channel support of the stream. Before I go, there we go. Got a lot of studying to do today. Whole bunch of exams. But yeah, Oscar says student loan providers are essentially pimps. Yeah, I'm sure that analogy could be drawn. And the thing is, like, I know everybody pushes college and it's great. And yeah, you should go for secondary education. It's fantastic. But there are other options. As I said earlier, get somebody else to pay for your college. Do 4 years of service, or, go for a grant. You don't want to saddle yourself down with $100,000 worth of debt for an education. I don't know, man. It's a weird industry that's created. It doesn't make sense to me. But I really hope something gets revamped. It just seems like there's an industry that takes advantage of kids. And don't be in any rush, like I said, when I was 18, took that giant student loan debt out. I was 18. I didn't know what a fucking interest payment was. I had no idea. I didn't know shit about shit. I was an 18-year-old kid taking out a giant student loan. I had no business doing that. Don't do that. Don't be in any rush to do that, Take your time, man. Yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, Oscar. And Jamie Lee Claus, once again, thank you so much for the final super chat before I jet. Jamie says, in Denmark, the state pays your studies efficient. Yeah, I wish we had, I mean, we do have certain kind of programs here. Like you can get a scholarship, you know, the state will often pay for, you got to be smart and do your shit in high school. Sometimes the state will give out scholarships, which is great. But yeah, I believe that there is a push for community colleges and stuff like that, smaller schools, smaller public schools to, to be funded by taxpayer money, and again, that's an investment in the community, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. What's worse, a system like that, or a system that basically bogs down an entire generation with debt? Worse than any other generation in the history of this goddamn country, right? I don't know. But yeah. Anyway. Cheers, Jamie. Hopefully we do something like that. We'll see. All right. That is it for me, guys. I'm gonna go downstairs and study my ass off for a few hours, and then hopefully have some time to watch some football playoffs. But yeah, we'll see. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This was fun, man. Little coffee sipping in the morning. I don't know when the next time that I'm gonna be able to stream will be. Just happened to have a little bit of time this morning to hop on here and say hello. Next time that I stream might be this coming week. I really don't know, man. You'll find out when I find out. But anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. To everybody who super chatted and supported the channel this afternoon, I appreciate the hell out, or this morning rather. I appreciate it, guys. Always a good time. All right, got to run downstairs, open the book, start studying. Have a good one, guys. I will see you when I see you. Stay safe. Watch some movies. Vince, I'm going to have to hear what you thought of The Right Stuff. Hope you liked it. But, all right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!